Warning. This video contains a lot of complaining. Viewer discretion is advised.
Sup nerds! A few days ago I made a poll asking on which game I should make a challenge next, and 41 of you voted for it to be Dark Souls 2, so here we go! Why? Furthermore, I consider Shield Hero to be one of the best newer animes, so why not combine the two? I mean, who wouldn't? Seems like a logical conclusion to me. So in this video we are going to answer the question, can you beat Dark Souls 2? With shields only, aka as Naofumi from Shield Hero, aka with great shields only, medium ones are trash. The rules of this run are really simple. We must fight as Naofumi does, with shields. And yeah, that's it. Normally I would do no summons, but this video game is more special, so I will allow it. This is my video and I do what I want, thank you. But in this run I only used them twice and I will mention it when I use them. Enjoy! And I hope I don't complain too much for the sake of me and for you. First, I spent 3 whole minutes designing our protagonist to look exactly like Naofumi from Shield Hero. Personally, I cannot see the difference.
Smash.
At Majula, I risked the Emerald Herald and got an Estus flask and then ditched her immediately. And we punch a rock to get another Estus shard. This merchant guy sells a great shield which does way more damage than our current starting class shield. But it costs 2k souls. And we are broke. So I skillfully maneuvered the Dragon Rider to fall right into his death to buy the shield from merchant guy. And damage, drum roll. We do good damage, but the drawback of shields are the very slow attacks. They're so goddamn laggy. And furthermore, with a shield we cannot backstab, since on a shield there's nothing there to backstab someone with. For no reason at all I decided to kill Bootleg Patches to maybe get his shield, but he only dropped his spear. Later I saw that you can buy his shield off of Melentia, but our Dragon Great Shield does more damage. Totally Not Patches also dropped the Thorn Ring, dealing damage whenever I take damage. I totally expected him to drop this charm, by the way. After traversing the depths of the Cardinal Tower we face the giant, and he dies in the second try. His storms are really easy to dodge and our shield does more than enough damage. With the remains of the last giant in hand, we enhance our shield and make it deal even more damage. With this damage, who the fuck does not attack with shields? Weird people, I guess. The Pursuer also dies rather quickly. You can always easily sidestep his dash attack and grab attack to the right to get free attacks him, making him fall really fast. The Pursuer also drops a very neat charm, the Ring of Blades, amplifying our physical damage. In order to beat the game, we either have to kill all 4 great ones, or we can skip them entirely if somehow we pick up a total of 1 million souls and soul memory. We don't have to hoard them, we just must have picked up 1 million souls throughout the run before the Shrine of Winter. But since this is a challenge run, I won't use this, because it would kind of defeat the purpose, wouldn't it? I personally think it is really cool that such a skip exists in the game, where you can skip the entire areas like in DS1 where you could skip the entire catacombs if you know what you're doing. Note that I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll try my best. Our first old one on our hit list is the Lost Sinner. To get to her, we first have to run past No Man's Wharf to eliminate the Flexel sentry who also just dies. You don't have to kill him, but I'll take 3 souls. The Rune Sentinels were a problem though. In this triple boss fight I really felt how slow we are. I have to add, when doing challenge runs of games I love, I usually don't go in with a set plan or optimal route. I have an overall plan, of course, like killing X boss or getting the main weapon of X. I also like to keep googling to a minimum, so I will be hopping a lot between areas to test my luck. So instead of suffering to the Ruined Sentinels, I try to make my way to Cloan. What? You are distracted. Later she will sell a lot of helpful upgrade materials, so why not get her to Majula early? But to get to her we first have to reach No Man's Wharf, where we fight the most thought through boss in the game, the Skeleton Gang. I never died to this boss and never will be, and I would like to keep it that way. After the Skeleton Lords we finally talk to Cloan, moving her shop to Majula. She doesn't sell large Titanite scales yet, but I think later she will. We pick up a totally known to me fragrant branch of yore and make our best effort to complete the Dragheap Tower and reach Mytha. Blah 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 blah. You can erase the poison in her arena by setting a steel column on fire. Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh.
Anyways, with our great shield we can simply block her attacks and just stand there menacingly. She dies instantly and thus got access to Iron Keep, where we could take on the old Iron King. But I hate this area with my entire soul, so we will come back later. We now put our points into strength to prepare the next weapon we will get. Havel's Shield. You can get the rock shield in the gutter, so that's where we will be heading now. But first we buy the cat's ring, making us able to survive these steep falls and then skillfully platform into the well. We furthermore buy the ring of the evil eye to get healed when defeating enemies. Just a nice buff, and very helpful for the next boss, as you will see. In Saint's Grave we take on another gank. Man, these bosses are getting really creative.
Flashback.
Guys, we really need ideas for the next boss. It is located beneath the depths of the well. Any ideas? Yes, Peter?
So you know there are these rats that nobody likes.
Keep going.
What if we make a rat boss?
A rat boss.
But that's not where it ends. Let's just put a bunch of rats in there.
A bunch of rats.
Yeah, bunch of rats. Just put rats in there and there and there and there and there and there.
To get Havel's Shield we first have to get the Forgotten Key, which is located in the Black Gulch. To get the key you have to fight these two giants. It took way too long, but we got the key at least. Having acquired the key, we jump onto this platform, open the door, and there it is. Havel's Shield, baby! Its base damage is already higher than our upgraded one. With our newly acquired shield in our collection, we crush the Rotten. Havel's Shield is so strong that you can pretty much block every attack. With this damage buff, I felt ready to tackle the infamous Iron Keep. Don't get me wrong, I like this game, but sometimes it really pisses me off. And furthermore, these useless blockades, they actually feel quite insulting. If I compare the level design to Dark Souls 1, this is just pathetic. I get it that levels need to be separated in different sections, but just putting the bonfire in a little trench? Where you have to make an entire surrounding of the earth to come out 5 meters on top. Instead of just putting a little ladder there or something. Like what the fuck? This entire section has no reason to exist other than to stretch the playtime. But I discovered this bonfire and a lever to turn off the flames. I just discovered it in this run. I have beaten this game 4 times and have not found this. Anyways, we beat the old Iron King, which has the complexity of a Mario boss, and thus have already defeated 2 out of 4 old ones, leaving only the Duke's dear Freya and the Lost Sinner. We first release Pyro Grill and make our way to Bootleg Quelaag. Bootleg Quelaag is very simple, but her grab always gets me for some reason. Her grab always heavily poisons us, so once we get grabbed we can pretty much give up. But that didn't stop me from winning, of course. We then fight another gank, beat them first try, and then we face the Duke's dear Freya. And surprisingly, I really don't like her. I play on vanilla Dark Souls 2, so I cannot use the fire to keep the spiders from me. I almost smashed my controller after this happened. So essentially the Duke's dear Freya is another gank. I hate fights with more than just one opponent to death. Where did all the one-on-ones fight go? My tactic is to just run away, to make her trigger the laser, run to her other face and smack her. That stupid little b. Also, did you know that her head can actually fall off? Like, that really caught me off guard. The last old one is the Lost Sinner. To get to her we start where we last stopped in the Lost Bastille after we defeated the Sentry. We use a Ferrous Lockstone to open up this elevator shortcut and a Fragrant Branch of Yor to get to this bonfire. I always keep at least one of each just for this. And this, dear viewer, is the worst placed bonfire in Souls history. Yes, you can get spawn camped. This is unbelievable. This is just bad game design. Another reason I got the cat's ring is to do this stuff without getting damaged. Skipping unnecessary time maneuvering around walls. Who the fuck does that? Gravity? Hardly know her. The Lost Sinner might be the best boss of the base game. It is finally a 1v1. This alone makes this boss fight so relieving. Like, god damn it, why all the multi-bosses? It is actually surprising that I can just hold up my shield and she ain't doing shit. So a no rolling run in DS2 might not be as bad as I imagined. But that doesn't mean that this fight will be easy. We are slow as hell and our shield drains our stamina. Dodging also drains our stamina, but blocking doesn't. I find that to be quite weird that blocking is so much more viable than dodging. With all 4 old ones in our belly, we can now open the Shrine of Winter. And by the Shrine of Winter, I can show you what I really dislike about the design philosophy in Dark Souls 2. You have to do all of what we did until this point of the game to open the Shrine of Winter door. You probably do way more in your first time playing since you don't know the game, obviously. The only thing that the Shrine of Winter does is get you over this side of the rubble. Rubble! So you are telling me we can defeat 4 of the most powerful beings in existence but not climb for 5 seconds? This lack of elegance and thought through design is what breaks the game for me a bit. Exploring is still very fun and it is also my favorite thing to do in any game. I know this is just a video game, but that doesn't mean you can just not give a fuck about making a world believable. Like goddamn a remake with Miyazaki in lead would probably turn this game into another masterpiece. I still think this game has a lot of unused potential. It has a lot of good ideas like the bonfire aesthetic or gorgeous views like the Dragon Mountains. But it all just doesn't connect at all. It just feels like you can't pass here. Not because there's a key missing or there's a giant gate gated by a giant. No, you can't pass because the developers don't want you to. And this breaks immersion for me. At the door to Strangleic Castle, I painfully tried to maneuver the enemies to kill them near the statues to open the gate. Took a few tries. As a precaution, I tried to kill Lycia to prevent her to invade us later in the Undead Crypt. But we're so slow and do so little damage to her that she is literally unkillable. She can just spam her spells and heals as much as she likes, as long as she likes. And I always thought mages had to manage their FP, but she clearly doesn't. Next are the reused Dragon Rider ×2. They are a joke since if you just stand before the platform of the archer, he will come down. He also has no HP, so you can just turn this 2v1 into a 1v1 really fast. And the Dragon Rider just stands no chance. Block to win. Havel's shield only upgrades with rare Twinkling Titanite, so we sparingly can upgrade our not weapon right now. But later, when we are at the Dragon area, we can just farm unlimited Twinkling Titanite. And even without huge upgrades, our damage is always enough. The next boss on our to-do list is the Looking Glass Knight, who would have been an okay boss if he wouldn't spawn an NPC enemy mid-fight. But block to win made this fight really easy. Havel's shield can pretty much block every attack in the game except a few overhead attacks. Furthermore, I also got the Ring of Binding, so we don't have to always use a human effigy to gain our max HP back. And just for fun, I also killed Ornstein, because free souls. Proceeding further into the game, may I present to you my favorite area in every Souls game. Shrine of Amana. It has everything I love. Water that slows you down, magic bitches that shoot you from the other side of the earth and gangs everywhere. You are forced to fight them all or otherwise they will kill you. At the fog wall or at these door animations since you aren't invincible while opening them. This is what Souls players want, right? A hard game? Fuck this spot in particular. These first 2 little fucks will always trigger together since they have telepathy, of course. Once we defeat the left one, we must defeat the right one. But as soon as we attack, those assholes sprint towards us. Combined with their combos and this shitty water terrain, we die a lot. And with each death, we have to do everything again to get to this point. This is just bad design. Dark Souls 2 is that kind of game where you die more to the areas rather than to the bosses, and I think it should be reversed. Always. After we finally got past this hell, without any help at all, the hell continues. The Demon of Dick is next. That Dick lookalike's hurt box is just broken. We cannot hit him with our normal attacks. We have to use the heavy ones because the light ones don't hit at all. We always hit his foreskin rather than the obvious weak point. Just die already, will you? With him dead, we gain access to the Undead Crypt where we have to just get past somehow. Since I couldn't defeat Lycia, she ended up invading us. And we are the complete opposite in fighting style. She has a Mark Speed dagger where 1 hit results in a 3-hit combo, leaving us with no HP. Her dagger is fucking broken. And we are a goddamn mountain with negative C speed and do like no damage to her. I know the world hates Naofumi, and in Dark Souls 2 you can really feel it when the fabric of space itself just wants to cause you pain. We must defeat Lycia since... Why, Tomohiro? And then we get here.
Warst du auch nur einmal im Bossraum drin?
Einmal, ja.
Das ist wie kann. Oh.
No comment. Then I got in. At least he died second try. I mean the second time we got in. I died unlimited times at the fucking fork wall due to bad design. I have nothing to say about Velstad, he just dies. With the King's Ring in hand, we get access to Aldia's Keep where we fight the Red Dragon. I never died here. And never will. At the Dragon area, one of the few areas that are actually cool, we grab a bunch of Twinkling Titanite to upgrade Havel's shields to +4. After painfully maneuvering these giant suckers, we speak to the ancient dragon and get his ashen heart due to our beauty. Before we use the heart, we first take on the Throne Watcher and Defender. And I beat them fairly, making it a 2v2. I swear they do not have an opening if you fight them alone. I hate them. They are literally the same boss, just reskinned. And furthermore, am I tripping or have these two bosses the same moveset? Anyways, before we face the final boss of the game, we take on the last giant. Oh, no, the Giant Lord. My bad. How could I confuse the two? They are totally different. With the last giant dead again, we have the right to become lord. But first we have to defeat the woman who gaslighted Vendrick, the old king. To go to another land, pillage the giants, declare war, bring them over. Yeah, that sounds like a good plan. I bet the giants would love having no choice but to work as slaves. Discount Priscilla goes down very fast if you just run away and bait her slow magic attacks. Run away, magic, run in, hit, win. And with this totally hard and not disappointing final boss, we take on the throne. And now Fumi finally gets the recognition he deserved all this time, but he doesn't yet know that in the later seasons the anime would turn into a huge pile of harem dogshit. Let him live life as it is for the moment. And I thank you guys for watching me suffer. Leave a dislike and unsubscribe from my channel, threaten my unborn son and have a nice beautiful day. Because you, yes you, are beautiful no matter what others say.
Tschüssli, Müsli.